Hello, everybody. It's Bubba Rob. How's it going? Of course, I'd like to say good, I hope. It's kind of my tagline. Seems to what comes out of my mouth. Yeah, I'm just here at this lagoon here. There's some Canada geese in the water. You might hear them in the background. But, something I want to talk about today. I think a couple of things. They lead into one another. One is the Bishop Marion Budd that gave that infamous sermon in Washington to the Donald, and also what Pierre Poilievre said, or when he answered a question in the CTV interview with the proclaimed cis male reporter. Okay, here we go. Some people I know might like me saying this, some people may not. My friendship doesn't endure through what I believe. Sorry. But, the thing that's really bothering me right now is people's reactions. Like Bishop Miriam Budd gave her sermon. I personally find what she said was extremely courageous for her to say it, where she said it and who she said it to. I mean, you don't have to agree with her, but what she did, that was really an international moment. It took a lot of balls, if you don't mind me saying so. Of course, there's going to be some smart ass say, oh, well, it's because she's lesbian you said that. No. I think that lady has got a massive amount of backbone and conviction. I have a huge amount of respect for that. The one thing in life is, if somebody really believes something and they're willing to stand up to Goliath, if they believe in it and to speak on the behalf of others, there is a strength. The will there cannot be conquered. I got huge respect for that. I think a lot of us tend to forget that she is the pastor of the church that he went after in that infamous walk across the street from the White House, wasn't it? When he was holding up the Bible upside down. Holy cow. So he obviously had a problem with her before. He obviously had a problem with what she stood for. And, then there's a lot of people who believe that way. Right? I'm not here to judge them. But, that's just how I feel. And then, shortly after that, there's a few interviews that Pierre Poilievre was doing. And one of them was from I forget the guy's name, but I watched it a few times. He asked him, what was it, the question, if he was the same belief as Donald Trump or something like that, as far as, genders, do you recognize there's more than two genders and all this stuff? And I bet Mr. Poilievre knew that question was coming. And when I watched it, I actually watched that interview probably 4 or 5 times because I wanted to make sure I didn't misunderstand anything or anything. And because I wanted to base my opinion on actual fact, not emotions. Okay, what was asked And what was the response? And his response was he was only aware of two genders, male and female. That's obviously what he believes. Okay. I'm not going to disrespect him for that. That's his belief. And then the second part was, which I really agree with, is that he wished to run a government where people can go about their daily lives, live the way they want, and not have the government interfere with them. That was the key to the whole statement of what he said. And I don't care on what side of the fence you are. In my personal opinion, it's not up to the government to interfere with how you live your life and who you wish to be. He's right. So I have to have respect for that. It just goes without saying. Now, here's where I draw a problem. After all that was said, of course, because now I'm making philosophical comments on the political environment in Canada. I start in my feed, I start getting all these pro-white and pro-left feeds. Oh, geez, there's somebody here talking. Let me do up the window. Okay, just give me 2 seconds here. Okay, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Okay, there we go. And, I was quite disgusted with what I was seeing in these videos. There's one side going, Yahoo, I knew they were weird. And Pierre, PP, believes the same thing as I do. He didn't say that. Then the other side is preaching like a Baptist minister about how evil he is and transphobia is. I didn't get that either. All I got was he really just wanted people to live their lives the way they want. It wasn't his concern. He didn't want anything to do with it. I find it absolutely ridiculous. Honestly, that news reporter that asked that question, he looked so uncomfortable. He knew. That was a gotcha question, and he actually really got scolded. But that's just my opinion. But I'm just so thoroughly disgusted how people are spinning that interview that's creating a greater divide amongst us as Canadians, because it's saying either you're this way or that way. I would have to say majority of Canadians really want to be just left alone, and they don't really care what people do in their bedrooms. Right? They don't. Why would I care? Why? It's none of my fucking business. Right? There's 3 things that only bother me as far as people's behaviors. There's going to be the top 3. Third from the top, the worst, if somebody's a rat. I just fucking hate that. Somebody who can't tell the truth, makes up stories to better themselves, to try and rise above. Or they can't take responsibility, right? The second one is anybody who commits assault against a woman. any man. It's absolutely disgusting. Rape. It's terrible. But the absolute worst thing is a fucking pedophile. Right? Those are the three things that bother me. You know, somebody running around with pink hair. Who gives a shit? Right? Who really does? Why is it any of my business? It's none of my business. You know, you're not being present and focused on yourself and becoming a better person if all you do is care about how other people live their flipping lives. Give your head a shake. You know, I honestly really don't get it. I just don't get it. You know? Oh, it's just mind-blowing. I find it just absolutely really disturbing. Sorry. It really bothered me. It really bothers me seeing people behave like that. You know? Are you all just like trying to be so vile that you're going to get noticed so you can go on Piers Morgan or something? Really? Do you even know what you're talking about? Mind you, I guess that's what you get in life when all you do is, oh, what is it called? Oh, I just finished reading that book by Gad Saad. He calls it Ostrich Parasitic Syndrome. Right? Oh yeah, what I meant to say is, if all you live your life is based on ideology and whatever you think trumps what somebody else does, it's terrible. All you're doing is passing judgment, inflicting your rights above somebody else's. It's just the truth. That's got nothing to do with equal rights or human rights or anything. You become what you're against. Okay? Anyways, that's my thought on it. I just want people to have a place here where they feel they can express themselves without being judged. Because, you know, we got a tough road to haul and we need to come together. And if all you want to do is put shit out there that's going to knock somebody else down because you're different, you're not helping the cause. Okay? Anyways, remember, most important person to be a good person, important thing is just to be kind, be respectful. Right? Give your neighbor a hug. Okay? Love you all. Have a great day. Bye-bye.